Okay, made another one, and I used the Chromis holder, which I love, by the way, because it saves so much time, and one of these Tech gel pens. It's got a little bit of glitter in it. I did not do a sketch fill, I just did a sketch of another pattern. And now I'm going to do the folding, and it's so easy because of the the tiny little, I don't even think you can see them, which is quite the advantage, the tiny little scoring lines that the Cameo4 does. So it's I'm going to fold this one in, and I'm getting to the point where I can make these really quickly, fairly quickly. And then this part, let's see if I can do this right. There's the end, yeah. But you take this middle one, okay, there's a score line here, 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 and here. And you take this one in and bring it to the center. You take this second one in. Let's see, did I do that right? Oh no, you bring this one into the center. See if you can see that. It does get a little confusing, but that's because I'm trying to look at the camera at the same time. Yeah. So that's the center. And this one here goes to the center. Right? Yeah, that looks about right. So you can almost see a dress forming, right? Yep. And then you turn it over, and you bring this piece, let's see if I can do it, down to the middle. There's a crease line right in here. And let me just mark it so you'll be able to see it better. Here's the crease line here. And what I'm going to do is take this and line it up like so. And then take this piece, and I could have probably put some score lines in there that would have also made it easier, but maybe on a future iteration I should line it up a little more perfectly. Bring it down just a tad. There we go. Alright, and then you open it up, because that's not what you want. That's only to make a crease line. You want to turn these mountains, they call them in origami, into valleys. Okay, so I've done that. Let's see if I can get this out of the way. And then you bring this down. And then you bring this piece to crease, you bring it so that it folds into this line right here. So, and that makes this corner, see this corner? If you bring it in to fold in it, that makes the neckline. And this corner right here makes the neckline. So there I go, I've got the neckline. And then I also have a crease line, which you cannot see, cut into the paper. By the way, if you're going to do this on a cutting machine using my template, use a very old mat, because this is thin copy paper and you don't want it sticking really hard. So you don't want to use a new mat that has a lot of stickiness to it. You want to use an old mat. And I have two lines here, two cut lines, two score lines, I'm sorry, not cut lines. And that makes the waist. And as I said before, let me see if I can find my toothpick. I just dropped my pen on the floor. All right. So let's see. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. I found it. Okay, to get the flare, I like to use a toothpick. I don't. Other people seem to do okay without it, but for me, if I use the toothpick and then just let me do it on this side, it's a lot easier. got the toothpick in the corner, and I just kind of flare this up. And take the toothpick out and run that crease down there. And I don't know if you can see it, but while I'm doing this, I can see the glitter pen adding the glitter to this. And so I do the same thing, angle it here. When I get it to where I want, I just crease it. See? So there, we got that. And yeah, so that works great. And if I wanted to, I could create that second fold. I probably should even, next time, I might just use that second, when my next iteration of improvement might be to put the 2 crease lines in there. Make it a little sharper and easier. All right, so now you turn this over and you bring that up and you bring this end up. This is a wee little one, and I'm only folding the bodice, the top, because now the crease line I put in, which is a little scored line, makes this easy. See how easy that is? And that little crease line put in there makes this part really easy. So I got the dress. Look at that. Little cute little summer frock, as they say. In the old days, a frock. I always like that term, actually. A frock. And then we'll bring out the little sleeve. And then decorate it however you like. So there we go. A little summer dress. The design was done on this pen, this chroma pen, in a blue glittery. It's got a little glitter. Of course, now if I wanted to have some fun, let's see if I can have some fun here. You know, I could just fill some of these in. Sketchy. And play with it, or I could have made my computer do that, my Cameo, if I had used a sketch fill, right? So this is not really very good because I should have evened out the pattern. But anyway, yeah, I should have had this one. And then this one, and this one. Oh, maybe I could just do this. See, I shouldn't have 2 together. Anyway, I've screwed that up, but that's okay, because it is, isn't it? And then what I thought about doing was changing out the pen, and while this was in the thing, putting in flowers like this in different colors on top of this grid pattern, which I could have done. But I'm playing with this now so that I can think about doing something like that a little bit later. And I could actually, these could be filled in. Instead of doing it by hand like this, which doesn't take very long, I could have drawn them in with the Cameo. So, but I just want to play at the moment and see what can be done and stimulate other ideas, because this is not exactly becoming a real how-to, but mostly exploring other ideas. Yeah, let's see. I could just now. Okay, these are these are one of my favorite Faber-Castell Pip pen. Okay, let's see what I can do here. Pendamin in blue. I'm not being very careful because this is just an experiment. I have not tried to see if these, I don't think these big pens can fit into that chroma. These are perfect for manual embellishment, but I don't think this big pen will fit in. And the next thing I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to make a template that, let's see, and I could just put some dots in there and make my own little fashion design multicolored. Anyway, just the ideas of what can be done. I could actually do this whole thing on the computer and it would be perfect, you know, instead of all scribbly the way I've done it. But I just wanted to show how I did it. But the thing I was just talking about is, let me see if I can get my computer on here. Yeah. The template I was talking about is this one. In fact, let me bring this up. See that design? If I just cut that template as a stencil, where that would be vacant in the middle and on cardstock, and then place it over the cut square. For children could play with this, or young girls, maybe not so much children. Let me see if I can get this working. Yeah, I will. Whoopsie. There we go. Whoops. I'm trying to do two things at one time, and I can't quite do it. Let me get my... Yeah, I needed my desk surface. And I can't find... Oh, there it is. Okay, there. Okay, I would remove this, okay? And I'd cut this out. Maybe cut out several squares, make them bigger. This is only about 3.5 inches, but you know, make them 4.5 inches. Then a stencil that goes over it like this. Actually, no, that's a little bit too. Then this one here, go over it, and then, okay, I need to just make this one smaller because I just put this here. This is the one that I was talking about, so it has to be this size. So anyway, make this, cut this out, whatever you want it to go over the pattern a little bit, so that when you scribble a design in there or paint, see, it should go this over everything. See, it's going to be cut on the blue line, and I'd probably make that, I'd make that a little bit smaller to be complementary. Bring it down so that it goes, whoops, not that part down, but this part here. I'm going to use the, yeah, there we go. I'm going to use my arrow keys because it gets, okay, you notice what I've done here is make sure it's outside of the blue cut lines, because see, that's the paper that you would be working on. So all this open space, if it's a stencil, you can just paint, you can put scribbles, you can put designs, and etc., etc. Then when you remove your stencil, you won't have this painted, and you won't have these sides painted or scribbled or drawn, but just the part that when you fold it all up in accordance with these lines, you will have a masterpiece. This would be something fun if you cut out this blue template in larger size than this, maybe 4 or 5 inches. Pass them out with stencils that are like this red thing open, and then tape them all down and have whoever's playing with you design colors and sketches and so forth, and then do the folding, and you will have a beautiful creation. Not exactly like I did here, it will be nice. You could even color it all in solid with different markers and different pens or watercolor. I mean, the sky is really the limit on these. But a combination of the Cameo, which does cut a beautiful template to play with, and a more sophisticated approach would be to design everything on the computer, the pattern, like I have done up here. So I have this black and white one, which is a dress I've already made. And then the one I just did was the outline of this pattern. And while it was cutting, I went into the sketch fill. So if I had the pen draw that, it would have drawn just exactly like that in blue. You know, it would have been all filled in. But I just instead had done it this. Well, just as I thought I had made a mess of everything, and frankly, I did at that point in time, I grabbed a few pens and did a few things. I even put some embossing powder on there, although I should have had a brighter white. That white's not very bright. Anyway, by way, you just can't make an ugly one. This is not perfect, and I haven't put my little paper clip on it. But it's just one of those things, no matter what you do, they still end up so darn cute. And I was just scribbling away and just not paying much attention to what I was doing. And it turned out pretty cute. Not perfect, but pretty cute. By the time you get them all together, they just look so creative. So have a go, because it is addictive and you really can't do a bad job.